back, everyone. My name is Bryant.Stone, Chief Investment Officer of Top Rank Advisors. As always, I appreciate you guys hopping on, checking out these videos. As always, please like, please subscribe, please share. It helps out the algorithms in YouTube to get this information out to people like yourself who are trying to educate yourself. So let's get right into it. So today what I want to talk about is the recent Secure Act 2.0 that was passed. And there was a lot of things that happened with that Secure Act 2.0. But one thing specifically I want to talk about today is the RMD changes that were made and implemented that are extremely important for you if you're a pre-retiree, retiree, you're starting to plan your retirement, and you want to factor in these RMDs, okay? So before we get into that, let's talk about what are RMDs. It's an acronym that's thrown out there a lot, right? And you're like, what's an RMD? What is this? So what it stands for is required minimum distribution, okay? And what that means is that, let's say, you've worked for an employer, 30, 40 years or multiple employers, and you've contributed to some type of 401k account. There's a lot of versions of it, 403bs, 457s, TSPs, so on and so forth. But the most common one that most people understand is a 401k. And all that is a tax-deferred account that you're putting in after-tax dollars, and then the interest on that also grows tax-deferred. So later in life, when you do take that money out, that money would be taxed. So what the IRS implemented is that those tax-deferred accounts that you do have, at a certain point, you are required to do what's called required minimum distribution, which you are required to actually take money out of those accounts. Uncle Sam does want his money because they don't allow you to not pay taxes on that account for the rest of your life. So at that certain point, you are required to take money out from it. And let's say that you've done extremely well in your life and you've accumulated a lot of money in this 401k, this tax-deferred account, and you have like a huge pile of money in it, and then you have to start taking money out. The problem that you could potentially run into is that now that money gets lumped on to your, potentially your Social Security, your pension. Let's say you have private annuities, which could potentially increase your tax bracket. So actually with this new Secure Act 2.0, they increased the RMD age from 72 to 73 starting January 1st, 2023. So what I'm going to show you guys now is a chart of what the actual new RMDs look like beginning in 2023. So as you can see there, prior to the first Secure Act that was passed, the RMDs were at age 70 and a half, and these were people that are born June 30th, 1949 or earlier. So when the first Secure Act was passed, it increased it to age 72. And as you can see, that's for births on July 1st, 1949 through and including December 31st, 1950. And then with the Secure Act 2.0, that increased that from age 72 to 73. So these are people that are born January 1st, 1951 through December 31st, 1959. And so as you can see, starting in 2023, people that are going to be turning 75 at that point, and these are people that are born January 1st, 1960 or later, your required minimum distribution age is going to be age 75. So the purpose of the government increasing your required minimum distributions is basically allowing you more time to defer the tax that's paid on it. It can be a good thing. It cannot be a good thing. There's pros and cons either way, but most importantly, these are things that you need to know. Another change that was implemented with the Secure Act 2.0 in reference to the required minimum distributions is that the excess tax penalty was decreased from 50% to 25%. So prior to Secure Act 2.0, if you failed to pay your RMDs, whatever amount that you failed to pay for your RMDs, or not pay for your RMDs, whatever amount you failed to take out from your required minimum distributions, let's just say, for example, it was $10,000 and you didn't take out the $10,000, then you were taxed a 50% of that, so it would be a $5,000 tax penalty. Now with the Secure Act 2.0, that excess tax was decreased from 50% to 25%. So in that same scenario, your excess tax penalty would be $2,500 instead of that $5,000. Now, with that being said, if you do correct the RMD that you were not, that you failed to pay, that excess tax can decrease from 25% to 10% if it is corrected within 2 years. So another change that happened with the Secure Act 2.0 is that Roth 401ks are not required to have required minimum distributions. Prior to the Secure Act 2.0, if you did have a Roth 401k, and let's say you kept it with your employer and you didn't roll it into an outside Roth IRA, that Roth 401k would be required to take the required minimum distributions. Now, starting in 2024, that Roth 401k, if it is with an old employer, you are not going to be required to pay your required minimum distributions, which is a huge piece to this Secure Act 2.0. So as always, guys, be informed. Hopefully this was helpful today. If it was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll talk to you on the next one. Thank you.